Good evening, everyone, and welcome once again to the hottest ticket in town each and every Sunday night, where we are here for round 3 of Sunday Night Lights, live and exclusive on Top Split TV. We are here at Road America. I'm your host, Alex McKellar, and joining me once again is the chaotic one himself, Mr. Corey Steinhauser. Corey, big night of racing ahead tonight once again.
Yeah, that's exactly it, Alex. And if we have a race that's anything like the warm up race to this, then we're definitely in for some action tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. The guys getting out on track tonight. We have another bumper field of drivers. Strength of field for those playing at home is 4,473, which once again streets the field when it comes to the quality of field that we've been seeing throughout the week. It's been a very popular track, no doubt, but tonight you'll see the best of the best coming and joining us here for round 3, Corey.
Yeah, that's exactly it, Alex. And with the 44.73 strength of field, we're definitely going to be absolutely treated here tonight. As we can see that we got the likes of Kevin Henderson in here and Luke Whitten and Cristobal Alterio Roman, just to name a few. So we definitely got the big guns out here tonight, and we're ready and raring to go for an excellent night of racing.
Yeah, absolutely. The other driver, Luke Whitten, who's taking a bit of an excursion on the grass out the back straight at the moment, representing Team Milo. First week in the top split this week. He is the final driver, number 19. Needed 3,540 as I rating here for his ticket to ride here as he finishes up his warm-up lap for this 2-lap quality session. It's a very long track here, but plus 2 minutes 30 to do your lap around here. And therefore the guy's straight out on track, because if you don't get out there quickly or you make any sort of mistake, you miss your 2 laps, Corey.
Yeah, that's exactly it, Alex. And as we know from previous weeks, that second lap is the most important lap to get to, with it being the fastest lap that you will achieve in the qualifying session, provided that you don't make a mistake. And everyone is absolutely on edge, trying everything they can to warm up their tires while not lollygagging, so they can make those 2 laps, Alex.
Yeah, I was just looking at where everyone is on track. There's a few ahead of others. There's not much margin to play with here, but I notice Hendrickson is either well down his first timed lap, as in well through it, or he's made a mistake and he's only going to get 1 flying lap in. Great to see Jose Soria in this race here tonight from Iberia. It's first venture into the top split. He's been doing pretty well in the second split up until now. We know he's got pace. He's got plenty of pace around here, in fact, and look for him to be right in amongst it. Once again, Team Milo's own Ben Snell, he's in the top split once again. He's been working hard here this week, having a lot of fun at the same time. Mixed bag of results, but certainly he'll be in amongst it as well. Colin Sooty, there's a name, a blast from the past, as it were. Used to be a regular in Monday Night Lights and used to race a lot of the skippies in the ANZ scene, but despite the Scottish accent, he is representing the ANZ club here tonight. Great to see him back out on track, Corey.
Indeed it is, Alex. I'm not too familiar with Colin myself, but I'm glad to see he's out here on track. We also have a Chinmai Panukolu. I hope I pronounced that right. My apologies if I didn't. He's got a very nice looking skippy out here tonight, Alex, with the green and the red and the blue. I think that was probably one of the better presented ones that we got out here tonight.
Yeah, nice array of primary colours on that one for Punukolu. I've wrestled with that name before, so I don't know if I'm practiced or not. Hendrickson's still out there for Team Torpedo, getting the tyres going. I'm going to bet he's only going to run the 1 lap. And I've seen him do that a couple of times this week, because there's about anything up to half a second in the quicker lap. He's doing a good job of warming up his tyres, and maybe he will just run the 1 here tonight. Tim Gorkrocher, top split racing team, he's coming around to complete what I believe is his first timed lap. Why don't we grab the quality standings now as the guys start finishing. Just look at that top corner on the left there. If it's less than about 2:35, you're going to struggle to get your second lap in. So Hendrickson not yet set a time he is in trouble and will only get that one lap in. Hence, he was warming up the tyres. Anthony Catt jumping to the top of the pops early on, provisionally on pole with a 2:32.6, which is a fantastic first lap time. I'd expect to see low 2:32s here in quali, maybe a 2:31, but they'd be pushing it pretty hard at that stage, Corey.
That's exactly right there, Alex. But I know that our boys here, the guys that we've got amassed for this race here tonight, if anyone's going to do it, it's going to be one of the guys that's here in this race that will probably do it. And I wouldn't put it too far past Mr. Tim Hendrickson to get that done. In fact, we know that he is definitely one of the fastest guys we got. I mean, that's evident by him carrying the one plate. And he's always very consistent. So I'm going to be very intrigued to see what he does with this one-timed lap, Alex.
Absolutely. For those of you who aren't aware, the drivers here are seated in order of their skill rating, also known as I rating. It also gives us the combination of the I rating of all the drivers in here, gives us the strength of field, which I say again is 4,473 here tonight. Biggest by far of the week. Number one plated car, Mr. Hendrickson, is the top rated driver, and it's essentially a seating system, if you like, just the numbers on the car. Christian Gabanka now on screen from Breaking Bad Motorsports. It's about 4 a.m. in the morning where he is, and it's great to see him back out on track, currently sitting provisionally in P9 after his first time lap, looking to move up the tree from there. Sammy J. Toykala, returning season champion this season, sporting the green livery of Team Milo as he comes through Canada Corner now on the tail end of his second time lap. Let's hop on board with the Team Milo driver now as he comes up over Thunder Valley there into the final corner now. Very nice lines there from Sammy. Great bit of apex curbing there. A little bit on the grass. Third gear through there to get the best run out of there. And what's Sammy got for us here tonight? Toykala currently sitting in P3. Where's he going to finish on this lap here? It is 2:32.6. He has got the time, but Cat has gone even faster now, Corey, with a 2:32.4. Where's Hendrickson?
Unfortunately, it looks like Hendrickson is not featuring on the timing marker there, Alex. I don't think he had a clean lap there for quality.
Well, there you go, folks. Hard work ahead for Mr. Hendrickson as we go through our starting grid tonight. Anthony Catt, fantastic work there from the UK and I Club member, starting in pole tonight. Jose Soria, we said watch out for him. His first run in the top split, representing Iberia. He's starting from P2. Stuart Adcock leading the ANZ charge. Been a strong performer, now chasing some good results here tonight, starting from P3. Sammy J. Toykala for Team Milo, starting from P4 tonight. Julian O'Fray, SNL regular now, starting in P5. Lee Anderson similarly in P6 from UK and I. Ben Snell continuing his good run of quality this season for Team Milo in P7. Team of Escalante, perhaps disappointed here, but complained a bit about his pace this week. So perhaps he's got his work cut out for him in P8. Christian Gabanka from Breaking Bad Motorsports. We were just talking about him bright and early there in P9. Luke Witten for Team Milo, his first venture into the top split this season from P10. Håkon Grebstad from Team Ovaltine in P11. Another ANZ driver there, stalwart of the club, Kevin Henderson in P12 as we go over the page now. Toshimasa Hanada from Japan in P13. Chinmay Christo Punukolu in P14. Gustavo Conde, the Iberian, there in P15. Cristobal Otero Roman, K34 Sim Racing, I should say, on Twitch is young Cristobal. Across Simart Competition is his racing team. Tim Hendrickson for Team Torpedo. He's all the way down in 17th. What can the Flying Dutchman do from there? Tim Gorkrotcher, similarly, the ANZ driver, not setting a time for top split racing team. Colin Suti, another one yet to set a time. And oh, we're away. We've missed the start. Jeepers. The guys have rushed onto the grid and we're away, Corey. Apologies, folks. Keep going, mate.
Exactly right we are, Alex. And they're thundering down the Road America straight here, heading into turn number 1. As you see, we got a little bit of 2x2 action in the mid-pack. It looks like our leaders at the moment have gotten themselves sorted out into a single file formation with Anthony Cat at the head of the lead right now as they make their way through turn 3 after the invisible kink in turn 2. And it looks like we got a nice clean start here at the moment, Alex.
Yeah, the guys all making it nice and cleanly. Not that you can say that for every race here this week, but the SNL crew have done a fantastic job now as they head down the main straight. Now, what does turn 5 bring us here besides a lot of chaos? Look at them 2-3 wide as they come in here. They seem to be managing it okay. 3 wide in the rear there. Gorkrocher on the inside. He didn't get any moves done and they've all survived. Oh, there's a bit of contact in the back. Gorkrocher, I said it, spoke too soon. He's into the wall on the outside there. And that's his competitive night done. He copped a bit of side-by-side contact there. He'll be shattered after that, no doubt. I believe that might have been with Rahman or Sudi. I didn't quite catch it. We'll have to have a look in the replays. They're coming down 2 wide now. Through the Hurry Downs into 8. Now coming down through the carousel for the first time. What's a US track without a carousel, Corey? It's not a US track. 2x2 through the carousel this time. Far out. They're getting it done here tonight, Corey.
Yeah, 2x2 through the carousel, with this being such a flat corner, is probably one of the hardest things that you can do, Alex. These guys definitely showing their skill there, managing to make it 2x2 through there. As we see, oh, there's one in the wall, there's one in the grass, there's a couple flipping over. This has just turned into anarchy at the moment, Alex.
Lee Anderson, oh, and I tell you what, one of the unluckiest men in sim racing you'll see behind him there is Mr. Kevin Henderson. So we follow Lee Anderson through the kink. So easy to do. He loses the rear here, spits out over to driver's right, into the wall, back across the track. No control. And who does he pick up? The unluckiest man in ANZ sim racing, Kevin Henderson, who's similar to last race in the warm-up race, has just been collected by a flipping car that's spewed across the track uncontrollably. And then in the background, we've lost the 18 car of Colin Sudi as well in the aftermath. Oh, my word, Corey, what a start to this race. Everything was going so well. The incident was just the rear of the car stepping out through the kink, which is quite often been the case here this week, particularly in the early laps, Corey.
Yeah, and I was watching just behind that crash as just before it unfolded, and I actually noticed that our one-plated driver there, Tim Hendrickson, actually had the back end step out on his car as well, and he ended up in the grass. He was very lucky himself not to get caught up in that accident. As we see right now, Tim Hendrickson is right on the back of Punakolu, trying to get whatever advantage he can through the carousel there. My camera angle that I've got is actually kind of bad. As we go 3 wide now, coming up to the next corner there, Alex.
Yeah, down into turn 5, hairpin now, this tight left-hand, it's where a lot of the moves get done, and Hendrickson cutting his way through this field, although there's a big gap now between he and P10, which is Luke Witten at some 5/10 ahead. I should have stuck with there because there might have been some action, but no. We do have now a front pack of 10 cars, 10 deep here on the early stages of lap 2 as they go 2x2 now all the way down through the Hurry Downs. That's a flat out 4th gear corner and down through there as they come down now into turn 8. They do get it sorted side by side. They were down the hill, but they've managed to get it sorted single file now as they come through 9 into the carousel. Couple of Team Milo cars represented in Snell and Toy Carla now. Perhaps Toy Carla, last season's champion, wanting to move up through this pack eventually, but at the moment he's playing second fiddle to Snell, who is also Snellavision on Twitch if you're interested in seeing a cockpit view there. He is doing fantastically well here and is, apart from Adcock, I should say, Adcock all the way up front leading the charge for the ANZ club. I'll tell you what, Corey, the ANZ boys are right in it at this stage.
And this is what we want to see, Alice. We want to see our ANZ blokes doing well and getting it done. Speaking of doing well and getting it done, I was watching the back of that pack as they were coming through the carousel, and Kabanka and Grebstad were side by side, and Grebstad actually managed to hold it around the outside for the entirety of the carousel there. And then when they got to the next right-hander, he followed in behind him. As you can see, we've still got this 10-car pack. And the second pack there still being led by Tim Hendrickson is coming, but they're not coming as fast as they should be, Alex.
Yeah, speaking of hanging on, Adcock went very deep into Canada that time round. Nearly wiped out himself and this big racy pack at the start. Soria taking over the lead now, but we see Adcock into turn one now, retake that lead. 2 by 2, this pack goes. They're still managing to make it work through there. Look at them. 2 by 2 on the way down to 3 now. The Invisible Kink at turn 2, not taking much part of this. 2 by 2 against Snell up the inside of Cat this time. Cat down 3 positions from where he started in pole, down in P3. Sorry, P4 now as Snell went through on turn 1. Sammy J also looking to get through there. Toy Carla looking to use the draft from his Team Milo teammate on the big run down into the turn 5 hairpin, Corey.
And that's exactly what he wants to do. Try and get whatever advantage he can, even if he's got to use his teammate to do it. As we see, up on the inside of Toy Carla is actually the 8 of Anthony Cat at the moment, and they're 2 by 2 from Toy Carla on back to 10th there now, Alex.
Yeah, these guys really wanted to move forward in this pack because they know whilst there are about 7.5 laps to go as they go through 7 now, on through the hurry downs into 8, that they've got to get, if they want to get up in the top 3 and even have a crack at winning this race, they've got to get back forward as they go 2 by 2 through 8 now into turn 9. And again, it's going to be Kabanka and Grebstad by the looks. Or, yeah, is it Kabanka and Grebstad going side by side? Alfray, I beg your pardon, up the inside now, Grebstad. Yeah, it is Kabanka. No, Vascalampi and Grebstad that time going 2 by 2 through there. Now onto the kink. These guys hang on to the rear. Grebstad on a very wide line there. There's a few of them on the grass there now. Is that Kabanka? Yes. No. Vascalampi it is who managed to hang on, rejoin there just in front of Witten. Tell you what, these colour schemes, Corey, they're going to get me. As the front pack now comes into Canada corner. Up the inside, Soria having a look once again. Adcock not relenting that lead as the 2 Team Milo drivers of Snell and Toy Carla, trailed by Cat, our pole sitter, run up now into the final corner for the tail end of lap 3, Corey.
And what we're seeing right now, Alex, is because those back 5 were battling so hard, this leading pack of 5 is starting to develop a little bit of a gap between them. And also, we got Tim Hendrickson, and I think that's Gustavo Conda right behind him, starting to catch up to this second pack of 5 at the moment, Alex. Yep. As we see now, the battle for the lead is on again. Ben Snell trying to make it 3 wide, thinks better of it at the time. Right now, it's all about Jose and Stewart as they come through turn number 1. It looks like Jose's just gotten the advantage now, Alex.
Yeah, Sawyer leading them through turn 1 on the start of lap 4 there, Corey. The 2 Team Milo guys looking very racy. Snell in particular wanting to make his presence known. Toy Carla playing a bit more of a patient game at this point in time. But these guys, yeah, as you see, Toy Carla, in fact, no, it isn't. It's Cat weaving side to side there to stay out of the draft. He wants to make it known that he's not attacking at this stage. He's really defending from that pack behind led by Grebstad, because if he tucks up too close and they get a poor run through this final kink, as we turn 5 now I should say, we saw the compromise line from Adcock there. That will bring this trailing pack, although they themselves going 2 by 2, which isn't helping their cause of getting dropped there from this lead pack of 5 cars. And as you say, all the while Hendrickson, he's on the back. He's brought Conde with him, and Hendrickson now on the back of this lead pack, making it a pack of 12, Corey, as they head down through the hurry downs into 8 on the mid stages now. Oh dear, it's all happened now into the rear, through the hurry downs into 8, and it's all happened. And I'll tell you what, who's come through the other side is Hendrickson and Vascalampi as well. Why don't we go grab a bit of a look to see what happened there into that corner. I think I need Grebstad. Here we go. It was Vascalampi making a big lunge under brakes. Grebstad locked up the rears and got hit in the rear by Kabanka in the end, and that took out the other Team Milo driver of Luke Witten. And that's really hit us pretty hard as far as this field goes. Let's take another look. It looks like Vascalampi up the inside, and he's just out-braked himself there. Not the best place for a passing opportunity, but definitely one that you can do it. And Grebstad grabs the 4th pedal, and then Kabanka, he stops the rotation, but then Kabanka hits him in the rear, and then Witten, on his first entry back into SNL for season 17, he cops a hiding in there too. Conde taking evasive action, and meanwhile Hendrickson was the only one that managed to survive, I think, there, Corey.
I'm pretty sure he was, but I'm having a look at the leading pack now, and we've got a three-wide battle going into turn one. They've also been joined by Julian Alfrey to make this a 6-car pack, and Ben Snell has just taken the lead from Jose Sawyer, with Stuart Adcock sitting there in third. Ben just taking the advantage of the double draft and taking the big run up the inside to take the lead there in turn one, Alex.
Team Milo's own Ben Snell taking the lead of this race. He'll be grinning from ear to ear and having a blast, no doubt. Maybe sweating bullets a bit too. This is a big race for him to lead and hopefully win if all things go to plan. Stuart Adcock, the other Aussie in this field now, making the double draft pass, as you mentioned, as they go side by side now into turn 5. Adcock now getting the inside run now. A little bit compromised there. And who's up the inside? But it is Soria once again poking his nose in there, getting things exciting for him, no doubt, and also exciting for the guys in front. They've got to look front, left, right, in the rear, all the rest of it to keep this race action going, keep themselves on the track, as we are now down to a pack of 6 cars. The last time through turn 8 here at this very corner took its toll on this lead pack, now down to 6, Corey.
Yeah, that's exactly it, Alex. And as I know before, Julian Alfrey has actually joined in on this front leading pack. We're going to go and have a quick little look at this second pack here, which has been led by Hendrickson, and he's actually nearly pulled out a full second gap on Gustavo Conde, sitting right there behind him in P8. Looks like Gustavo has Vascalampi there with him as well, with Luke Witten just trailing them a little bit as well, Alex.
Yeah, Vascalampi running wide again, as does Witten behind him through the kink. These guys throwing everything but the kitchen sink at this track here tonight. And aren't they putting on some kind of show? As we jump back up the front now, side by side, they go through Canada Corner on the tail end of lap 5 now. Up through Thunder Valley now, and you've got Snell looking to lead this one through the final corner now on the run up to the start-finish line, with half the race completed as they cross the line this time round on the tail end of lap 5. It is still a lead pack of 6 cars, all shuffling the deck. Now, it's so easy in this kind of race at this kind of track to just draft a pass here and there and play it safe, but all these guys know, because it's such a big pack, as they go 3 wide now as they cross the line, all these guys know they've got to get up the front if they want a chance at winning this. Hence, we're seeing this 3 wide stuff even at this stage of the race, Corey.
Yeah, that's exactly it, Alex. It's all about being in the right place at the right time at the end of the race. These guys all wanting to be in either second or third position, because that's where you're going to have the greatest advantage for the run coming into the final straightaway. These guys are definitely fighting tooth and nail. We see Alfrey now trying to make his way into P5 around Anthony Catt. It looks like he's got the move half made at the moment. It's going to be hard for him to complete that move with the left-hander coming up at the end of this straightaway. But these guys are definitely racing really hard, Alex. It's like they're almost fighting for sheep stations out there.
Absolutely, as they run down into turn 5 now. Once again, Adcock showing the nose. Oh, who's off in the back down there? It looks like Toy Carla there managed to gather it up, but now he's all the way back down to 6. And look who's looming once again. It is the blue and orange car of Team Torpedo's own Tim Hendrickson, who's dragging these guys along behind him in Conde and Vascalampi, trying to get back on this pack. Can he do it a second time? I think the answer is going to be yes at this stage, because he was a full second faster than the leaders last lap because of all this ducks and drakes that's going on. The 3 guys here of Hendrickson, Conde and Vascalampi just doing the right thing there, letting the faster man lead, and they are now within just 1.3, 1.2 seconds as they head through the carousel on the mid stages of lap 6 now. Meanwhile, up the front, starting to stretch out a bit now with Soria, Adcock and Snell having half a sniffy with the 6/10 ahead of Cat, of course. Once they get through the kink, though, they've got an extraordinary long run 5th gear all the way down into Canada Corner, and all likelihood is that that pack will be 6 once again as they head into Canada Corner. Side by side once more. Adcock looking to take the lead on the inside run of Soria there. Soria backing off, looking to go. Oh, is in the background. Who was that? That was Cat going very deep and getting crisscrossed by Hofrey, as it turns out, with Toy Carla now licking his wounds still from turn 5 on the previous lap, Corey.
Yeah, this racing is absolutely frenetic at the moment, Alex. But I just want to quickly point out something. Toshimasa Hanada and Lee Anderson, they're right down at the back of the pack in 16th and 17th. But they are not slouching back here at the moment, Alex. Lee Anderson actually pulled out the fastest time for the last lap at a 32.168.
Certainly showing he's got the pace to be with the leaders. Unfortunately, though, not the track position at this stage after that earlier incident in the opening laps. As we see Snell now looking up the inside at turn one. We see Adcock tucked in behind. Two ANZ drivers. A Snell run wide. How's the rejoin? It's okay. And then the guys have taken evasive action and still managed to get it done. Not losing too much. O'Fray poking the nose up inside three now. Snell should get the better drive, though, with a less compromised entry and exit, and will tuck in behind Soria now. I was just about to say, how good is it to see two ANZ drivers up the front leading 1 and 2, and then Snell makes that slightly poor exit out of one, costing him the position as they go 3 wide now, almost 4 into the primary passing opportunity on this track. Snell hanging on, and you've got Cat there up the inside of O'Fray, the only position really in question. These guys side by side still up the hill into 6 now. Side by side they go. Cat and O'Fray now, hip and shouldered off. I don't think there was any contact there, but he is going to rejoin on the tail end of that second chasing pack now, led by Hendrickson, who is in fact now within draft of that lead pack once again. The only question that remains, Corey, is what can he do in the 3.5 laps that remain?
Well, this is Mr. Tim Hendrickson we're talking about, Alex. Almost anything is possible for him at this point. We know how well he can drive the skippies and how well he can work the draft. And if anyone has a chance of going from 6th to 1st in just a couple of laps, I would put my money on Tim Hendrickson to do it.
Well, this is the place to do it. Once you got the draft, it's all bets are off in terms of how these cars will finish. And got the draft, he does. He's now just 6/10 behind and into this braking zone where there'll be a bit of a concertina effect of these leading cars. Now with Adcock leading Sawyer and Snell. You got Cat and Toykala, and then ultimately Hendrickson, who's now 4/10 behind with the trailing team of Escalampy in P8 just behind him. We still have a pack of 10. I beg your pardon, 8 down to Conde, with O'Fray tucked in behind him about 1.1 seconds. So probably just out of draft range, but who knows? He could still fold up into this pack and make it a pack of 10 as we look back up the front now as they cross the line on the tail end of lap 7. Now the start of lap 8. 3 to go now. 2 by 2 once again into turn 1. 3 wide now as we see Snell on the inside, and suddenly across comes Soria looking up the inside as well, looking to follow Snell through. But this time we're led by Cat, who started in pole, back in P1 now after early adventures in this race, and he now leads them through turn 3 on the start of lap 8, Corey.
And look back to P5, Alex. What do you see?
We got a Team Torpedo Zone, Tim Hendrickson. He's already started mixing it up with the front runners now. What a drive. He is now, because he missed quali, he's up 12 positions already as they go 3 wide now. Once again, can they get it sorted? Cat defending up the inside. Snell, oh, he's checked up behind there. Hendrickson. The move up the inside, he's got 2 for 1 there. He's back up onto the podium positions, or he's up for the first time onto the podium positions as they go 2 by 2 through 6 now. On the approach to 7 now, on the run through the hurry downs, 2 by 2 again. Hendrickson says, thank you very much, I want that position as well. Can he get it done here? Although 2 by 2 they go into that corner now at turn 8. And Cat's contesting once again. Snell grinning from ear to ear. He says, battle away, boys. I want to run away with it on the approach to the carousel now. Up the inside. Soria looking up the inside of Cat now. Can these guys go at Linus turn for a corner at least, Corey? Just one. Pick one. I don't mind which one it is.
Not at the moment, Alex, because we are in the closing stages of this lap. Or this race, sorry, with just 2.5 laps to go. All bets are going to be off from this point onwards, as we can see Tim Hendrickson up there in second position. We go back in the pack a little bit. It looks like we've actually got a crabbing car back there, Alex. I'm trying to find out who that is at the moment. I'm not quite sure who that is, but I definitely seen a car crabbing in the back there. And
Oh,
we
it's
got
an
some
incident.
contact in the back.
Oh, that was Adcock into Conde, I
Gustavo, who
think.
was, yeah, it was Gustavo Conde, who actually I saw crabbing as well. And looks like they've had some contact. And Adcock is still going, albeit with some front wing damage there. And it looks like Conde is still going as well. His car not crabbing as much as what it appeared to be before. But it looks like both of them have very evil handling cars. As we're going to go back to the front of the pack now, because Hendrickson in P2 is making the move for first, and right behind him he has Sawyer as well. As they go three wide again, coming into turn one, they get around Ben Snell quite quickly there, and it looks like Jose Sawyer is taking the lead in this one, Alex.
Yeah, tucked in behind his Cat and Snells. We're now down to the top four in this race, really potentially looking to vie for the top step on the podium. Did grab a quick replay while you were talking there, and Conde grabbed the grass on the entry into Canada Corner, and that has continued the poor run of luck for Stuart Adcock, who got collected in amongst that. And a little touch of the rear Cat into Hendrickson, who was covering him off, nearly turned him on the straightaway as they approach now into turn 5 now. Hendrickson, little bit of a diagonal in the braking zone there, but he was all clear from Soro behind, and it just opened up the corner a little bit for him there. And but he nearly got turned on the straight there by Anthony Cat. No damage by the looks of it, and the race continues now as they approach turn 7 on the way down to the Hurry Downs, Corey.
And it just goes to show that even though Hendrickson is in the lead and he is as skilled as what we've been saying he is, he's still worried about the speed of these guys coming up behind him, especially in those large drafting zones as we're coming through the carousel now. As you said earlier, what is an American track without a carousel? It's not a track, it's probably an oval. As these guys are making their way through, they are line to stern this time, Alex. That will make you a little bit happier. But we see that these four are going to be almost inseparable as we come up to get ready to get the white flag here to start the last lap very shortly, Alex.
Yeah, absolutely. Snell looking a bit racy on the back now as we see Cat pull out side by side once again into Canada Corner. Snell not quite getting the drive he wanted. Sawyer poking his nose, compromising his own line really. Not looking for an over-under there at all. A little bit narrow on entry without having to defend even. And we do have just the one lap remaining through Thunder Valley now as they cross the line this time. Coming up to the final corner now, we will have one lap to go. Here we see Hendrickson tucked in P2. Let's see what sort of run he gets. He's about two and a half tenths behind on at the exit of the final corner. Doing a dress rehearsal, see if he can't get the win by the time he crosses the line. No, he's not going to quite make it. Imagine if that was next lap. Your leader into the final corner takes it out. 2 by 2 they go. Can Sawyer make it 3 wide? He's looking for every little bit of gap he can find. The two in front not making enough room for 3 wide there. Sawyer thinking every bit about it as they go through line astern through turn 1 this time on the run down to turn 3, Corey.
Another interesting battle, Alex, is these three just behind them, Alfredo Toykala and Vascalampi, three of the main protagonists in our series. They've been battling it out pretty hard here for 5th, 6th, and 7th. At the moment, they're being led by Vascalampi with Toykala in 2nd and Toykala in 5th. 6th, sorry. And
sorry, they're 3 wide on the grass. Everyone trying to grab the position into turn 5. Sorry to cut you off, Corey, but that time Snell making the move and taking advantage, grabbing one spot there. There's really two. As you see Toykala in the background take a big bit of grass, leading that second pack. Now Hendrickson on the front of this. He's got half a sniff of a gap there that will close up, but the 2 passing opportunities left really are at Canada Corner and then the draft onto the line. And at the moment, Hendrickson looking to have every bit of pace after driving through this field twice. It's really up to the others to see what they can do. They've got to drive smart. As much as the adrenaline is pumping right now through the carousel, they will be looking to see what they can do at Canada and then in the final corner, Corey.
And that will be the deciding factor in this race at the moment, Alex, because whoever is in the lead is going to be at the biggest disadvantage as they come onto the Road America straight to cross the finish line. At the moment, It looks like Cat is closing in with the draft as much as he can. He takes a look down to the inside of Hendrickson at the moment. Hendrickson looks like he got a little bit balked, and that's actually slowed up Ben Snell as well as they go 2 by 2.
Oh, he's
And
into
there's
the
contact.
rim! Off goes Cat. It was.
Cat has just been dispatched by Sawyer.
Yeah, he has. As the race continues now, we've got Sawyer in P3, Snell and Hendrickson. Snell potentially in the box seat. What sort of run can Hendrickson get out of this one? It's all going to come down to this final corner now. Oh, he's got too much of a gap. Doesn't matter what sort of run Snell gets. He's not going to get him. It's going to be Hendrickson's race here as he's up by 4/10. Question is, will Sawyer get Snell? No, it's 1, 2, 3. Hendrickson, Snell, Sawyer. That's the way they're going to finish. Fantastic drive of the season by Hendrickson there. Drove through this field twice and got the win, starting, if you can believe it, from I think P16, P17 or something in this massive field, and he goes on to take it out as we see an engine go from Sawyer. Bit of celebration at the end there as the guys start, you know, just playing with the cars at the end of the race. That's how it rolls here on Sunday nights, folks. What a race. What a way to finish it, Corey. Let's go back. I want to see Sawyer into the final run here. Where is it here? Here we go. So we're going to look at this final run into Canada corner. Sawyer is trying to brake. He's trying to pull it up and he's just put Cat into the wall there. Cat won't be sending any Christmas cards after that, I'm sure. But that was our pole sitters race done and dusted. And then they're 2 by 2 as we continue there. And as we hop on board Snell now, as we close it out, you can see this is what about a 4/10 gap looks like. And he's got a great run there, perhaps even slightly better than Hendrickson's. But you know, we talk about the draft and how effective it is in these cars, Corey, but that's not quite what it used to be. You can see he barely closed it all by the time he got to the line. 2 or 3/10 is about all you can take to get it done by the line here, even at Road America, Corey.
Yeah, the draft model is definitely not what it used to be, but the racing has been absolutely electric here tonight, Alex. We've had battles for the entire race, and Hendrickson going from 17th to take the win is mind-boggling. Even Ben Snell coming up from 7th to finish in P2 there, up 5 positions. That's nothing to sneeze at either, Alex.
No, it's a great drive. You know, fantastic effort. Great to see the ANZ guys up amongst it. Now I'm gonna jump back and see how we go here. Look, this is what the start looked like, folks. In case you were wondering, because we missed it, of course, while we were going through the grid. No one helped me out, Corey. No one held on into the pits. They were all too keen to get out there, so I missed out on seeing the race start. Still. We've got a few people in the green room. Why don't we pull one of them up, and we'll pull them up as we do in finishing order. The first one tonight, Team Torpedo Zone, Mr. Tim Hendrickson.
Hello.
Mr. Tim Hendrickson, mate, you didn't look to muck about here tonight. You played around a bit in quali and looked like you suffered for it. But when it came to the race, I said a couple of times, you drove through the field twice there and come away with a win, mate. Tell us all about it.
God, I wish I had messed up my qualifying. Yeah, so I had to restart mid qualifying because my wheel wasn't working. So I was only going to get that one lap in, and that lap was cancelled because of the packet loss issue I've been having recently. So I was forced to start at the back, and yeah, I didn't think I'd make it because at the first lap I was nowhere, made no real progress. Toshi, for some reason, decided to half-fast ascend on me, which set me back like 4 or 5 seconds from the pack. So I thought that was my race done. But yeah, Gustavo really kind of him to just let me lead, and I had the pace to just catch them outright. And as soon as I was in the pack, I just blitzed through it all. And yeah, that was ridiculously exciting and a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm glad, mate, because some of the racing here, people have complained, draft and just leapfrog and all the rest of it. But when you had a pack like that of 6 to 10 cars and it was whittled down to 4 by the end, and yourself having to make your way through that field and that calibre of field as well, it can be nothing but exciting, I would have thought.
Yeah, I took the gaps that were given to me, and especially that move into the T5 hairpin. I think it's T5, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
The tight left-hander, which may have put me up from, what was it, P6 or 7 to P3. That really was a big one, and it really, pretty much decided the race for me that I'd be standing on the podium at least.
Yeah, mate, we caught a glimpse of that just momentarily. That blue and orange flash through that quarter there. We called it at the time. It was a big move too. So well done for that, mate. But look, congratulations, driver of the season so far. I'd have to say, up 16 spots to take out the win in once again the strongest field of the week. 4,470 odds strength of field, 256 points and 50 odd I rating, mate. It's a good night out.
Definitely. Sadly, I'm not leading the official races because I'm too addicted to driving Skippy.
Well, mate, all I can say is it's not a sad thing, really, because if the more drivers we get on track, the better, as far as I'm concerned. It's great to see people like yourself back regularly in the series, mate. So, congratulations on the win again, mate. Anyone you'd like to give a shout out to before we let you go?
Well, you guys, of course, for putting all on a brilliant broadcast as always, and of course, my fantastic team, Team Torpedo. I can't wait to hop back into our little Discord server and tell them about the great result I just got.
I bet, mate. Well, congratulations, mate, and hopefully the good run will continue in the coming weeks.
See you later, guys.
There you go, Corey. Fantastic drive from Team Torpedo's Tim Hendrickson there. Really impressed with that drive. Cool head under pressure. And again, he complimented Gustavo Conde for tucking him behind and taking the run. And I tell you, that's just as good a smarter race decision as you can see out there, because battling your way around this place is not fast. If you recognise someone's got a bit of pace, tucking behind, and it's as good a race strategy as anyone.
Yeah, that's exactly it, Alex. And with the pace that Tim Hendrickson just seems to constantly have, no matter what tyre model, no matter what draft package we've got, he's always quick. And it's definitely a very smart decision to stick with him, especially when you're trying to catch up to the leading pack. And Hendrickson, as ever, he's worth his weight in the skill that he's got. It's just incredible that he was able to face such adversities in this race and managed to come away with a win, Alex.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just going back to Hendrickson the first time through the kink there. He's gone tremendously wide. Remember that first track, first time round, I should say. I can't remember who it was, lost the rear, and in front of him, he's run tremendously wide. And I can tell you that's the luck of the race almost there, because all the mayhem. Look at him here. He's counter steering like a madman there. Still gets on the grass and hangs on to it. And then Lee Anderson's collected the unluckiest ANZ drive you've ever seen from Kevin Henderson. And all the while, Hendrickson just sails on by. You know what? They say you got to have a bit of luck, but to go with that pace, he's had a bit of luck there for sure. So, well done to Mr. Hendrickson on his skill through there. Also, the luck that he got here tonight. But next up, we have, where is he there? Mr. Ben Snell. Ben, mate, qualified okay, drove a fantastic race and all but took out the win here tonight, finishing in P2. Congratulations on your result there, Ben.
Hi guys, I'm going to start by apologising. I jumped on the grid at the start of the race and went, oh no, I was supposed to wait.
Yeah, so, I might have missed the start, but no pressure, that's fine.
I'm sorry about that, but oh my God, what a race. That was crazy.
Yeah, mate, that was incredible. I mean, you would have had the first-hand view of the great drive from Hendrickson at the end there. Quite an amazing effort. But that front pack, of course, was, if whittled down to 4, but it was 10 deep for most of the race. And it wasn't slow and it wasn't tidy. It was just go throughout with guys jockeying for position throughout, yeah?
Yeah, the pack definitely wasn't the fastest because obviously everyone wants to be at the front and don't want to obviously drop back in the pack and end up in that massive storm of Skip Barbers. So hence the 3 wide moves down the front straight when I caught up to the front two because they were like slow. Well, I felt they were slow. So I was like, nah, I'm going for it. And like I was talking to you earlier this week, Alex, it's elbows out racing is rewarded here if you're the guy that's elbows out. If you're the guy that's driving aggressively, usually you survive. And obviously Tim and I are testament to that being 1 and 2.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. There were a couple of elbows out, but I thought by the same token it was pretty clean. I mean, there was an incident here and there, but you'd expect that in such big racing groups, really fighting for sheep stations at different points in the race. So, but once again, strongest field of the week by a mile, and some fantastic racing as a result. And mate, that's the best result I've seen for you for a while here. New time model, old time model. It's come together. Snell tonight. So congratulations on the race. Anyone you'd like to give a shout out to before we let you go?
Thank you very much. Of course, I'd like to give a shout out to you guys for putting the broadcast on, everybody that's jumping in, giving such fun racing to do. And of course, I'll have to do a shout out as well as Team Milo to twitch.tv/Snellevision, which is my stream, which we hit affiliate tonight. So that's pretty cool.
Fantastic effort. Yeah, go and support the iRacing community and the iRacing streaming community more broadly too with Mr. Snellevision. Obviously, one to watch there. Thanks, Ben, and we'll talk to you in the coming weeks, mate.
All right, see you guys.
There you go, Corey, racing at home on one of the most ghetto setups you'll ever see. I think he's still on a patio furniture chair, his last one at this stage. But Ben Snell putting on a fantastic drive for Team Milo and ANZ here tonight, putting us on the podium, mate.
Yeah, exactly, Alex. And Ben Snell definitely doing the Oz and Z Club a lot of justice here tonight. And as he said, the elbows out racing is definitely what seemed to be the preferred style for here tonight, with the likes of himself and even Tim Hendrickson battling their way up into the position to be there or thereabouts at the end of the race, Alex.
Yeah, absolutely. Fantastic drive. And really, really pleased for him, actually. So, our final interview tonight will be the gentleman in P4, Mr. Timu Vascalampi. Timu, mate, you keep getting me with that livery. You've changed colours and it's thrown me off, but it certainly didn't throw off your race tonight. Congratulations on a top 5 finish there in P4.
Well, it was a bit off. I did one silly move there, lap 4. There was no need to try to go inside. Hogan was ahead, and I had no pressure behind. I don't know what kind of brain fart it was, and then I missed the braking mark, lost the sight of the brake markers, and oops. But I think it's this track, this combo. It's everyone drives very aggressive, and lead back is very slow, and I was getting frustrated, feeling like being held up, and that's not fan of this combo.
Yeah, well, it's got its fans and it's got its detractors. It depends, often on the toss of the coin as to where you land and how the race unfolds for you, mate. Yeah, we did catch vision of that unfortunate moment after the hurry downs there into turn 8. It was, unfortunate, but I was pleased to see that at least you were able to hang on for a good finish there, if not right up the front. But certainly does your championship title aspirations no harm, at least. And hopefully that those sort of results will continue in the future for you. But thank you once again for joining us, Timu. Anyone you'd like to give a shout out to before we let you go?
You guys, of course, for broadcast and community.
Yeah, beautiful. Thanks, Timu, mate. And we look forward to seeing you out on track once again in the coming weeks.
Okay, thanks.
There you go, Corey. Timu Vascalampi, one of the Flying Finns. There's a couple of them out there. Of course, one of them defected to Team Milo this season. And the other one's got this car that keeps throwing me because I'm used to the blue and white, not the blue and white, I should say, not the black and red. So, but still, it hasn't slowed him down any. He did have that unfortunate moment with Grebstad into turn 8 there, but certainly not of his intent. But you can see him chastising himself there for that sort of mistake at that stage, Corey. But certainly holding himself to high standards, if nothing else.
Well, Vascalampi has always been a very self-critical driver, and that's one thing that I really respect about him is that he will put his hand up when he's made a mistake, and he will apologize for it profusely, and then he'll go back and critique himself. He'll watch the replay, and he'll say, "All right, this is what I've done wrong, and what can I do next week to improve that, or what can I do next race to improve that?" And it's that kind of ethic that I believe helps that quietly spoken Finn uh, reach the heights that he's reached in the Skip Barber. And I'm glad to see that he's always come back week after week, and he's generally there or thereabouts.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, before I let everyone go, I should do what I neglected to do. I got caught up in the excitement of it all. Let's go through our. Hang on, let me just jump back to the start here if I can. Let's go through our results. That'd be a smart thing to do, wouldn't it? Round 3 here at Road America course for Sunday Night Lights. We had the Flying Dutchman there, Tim Hendrickson, really putting on a show tonight for Team Torpedo. Up 16 positions, taking it out. Famous victory for Hendrickson. P2, ANZ's own Ben Snell, representing Team Milo, of course. Fantastic drive. Sounded like he enjoyed every minute of it as well. P3, making his debut in the top split for Sunday Night Lights. Jose Soria, representing Iberia. Fantastic drive from him. Little mistake there at the end, costly for Cat, but he managed to hang on for a podium nonetheless, did Jose Soria. Team of Vascalampi, who we spoke to, of course, up 4 positions from an uncharacteristically poor qualifying to finish 4th. Julian O'Fray hanging on there for the top 5, finished some 3 seconds behind our winner. Sammy J. Toy Carla, also representing Team Milo here tonight. 3.5 seconds behind there in P6, Anthony Catt in P7 after taking pole. And he was the unfortunate victim, as we said, of that final last lap incident at Canada. P8 tonight, Luke Whitten for Team Milo. Great to see him back in the top split, of course. Lightning fast and really a race contender on his day. Great to see him back. Gustavo Conde raced smart tonight, had his incident, of course, on the approach to Canada as well, which so much took place tonight, was Gustavo Conde from Iberia. P10, Cristobal Otero Roman for a Cross Simart competition. Not the season he was hoping for, if I'm honest, although he was up 6 spots for a top 10 finish. Hopefully, we'll see him up the pointy end once again this season as it progresses. P11 to Chinmai Christo Punukolu. From the Asia Club there, some 21 seconds behind. Team Ovaltine's Håkon Grebstad rounding out your Sunday Night Lights points getters in P12. Somewhat of a victim of that incident that we were talking to Timu about previously. P13, ANZ owns Colin Sooty. Great to see him back on a Sunday Night Lights race. Hopefully we get to see a bit more of him in the coming weeks. Christian Kabanka up early for Breaking Bad's Motorsports, but not the race he was looking for either. Stuart Adcock, that luck of his is not going well this season. He was right up there. I mean, he started in P3, I think it was, and that incident took him out all the way down to P15. Lee Anderson, similarly down about 10 spots for UK and I in P16. Toshimasa Hanada for the Asian club, but more specifically Japan, down in P17. Now, perhaps the luckiest unracer, as I said a few times tonight, Kevin Henderson, 2 races in a row tonight, got taken out through incidents not of his own making in P8. And Tim Gorkrotcher for Top Split Racing was the other retirement for this evening, all the way down in P19. Strength of field, as we said, was 44.73, strongest of the week, with fastest lap tonight, a 2:31.7 to Team of Escalampy, who finished course in P4. Well, there you go, Corey. That was about it for this evening. Before we wrap up, mate, any closing thoughts?
Just the utter amazement of the skill of the drivers that we can assemble here, Alex. These guys are absolutely incredible competitors, and I'm glad that we have the privilege of being able to call the races between these guys every week. It's just absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun too, I have to say. The guys put on a great show. It's almost as good as being out there. But folks at home, if the only better spot than here for the broadcast is, of course, out on track. So make sure you get amongst it. All the places on the screen is where you find us, folks. Of course, the replay of tonight's race will be on the Top Split YouTube channel tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Australian Eastern Time. The Discord server is where we do the broadcast from and where we do the interviews as well. The Top Split podcast, episode 22, is out at the moment with Ben and I discussing the new tyre model and all things Sunday Night Lights. The Twitch, Corey, tell them where they can find you.
You guys can find me at twitch.tv/Corey has no life 13, but we will put up a explicit content warning because I can get pretty salty and the language is a reflection of that.
There you have it, folks. And of course, Top Split TV is where you'll find us each and every week. Hopefully, we'll have AJ back on track soon as well. All right, folks, thank you once again for joining us on track and in the broadcast chat as well. We really do appreciate the support. If you would like to support the channel, don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, follow, all those things on all those different places because it really does help us out a lot. All right, folks, thank you once again for joining us. Until next week, I've been your host, Alex McKellar, and on behalf of the Chaotic One, Corey Steinhauser will say goodnight and ciao for now.